I am Aljaž Duh, and today with my colleagues we are going to tell you something about our capital city, Ljubljana. Here we are at Ljubljana and we are literally freezing because we forgot to take our gloves with us and hats and some coats. Some of you may wonder who we are. We are students from the secondary school in Velenje, known by the initials ERSH, meaning School for Electricians and Computer Technicians. As I said before, we are here in our capital city, and our task is to tell you and show you as many facts and sights of our beautiful city. We hope you will learn as much as we had by doing this presentation. How are you feeling?
I'm not freezing today because I told all my students to wrap up warmly, but they didn't listen to me as usual. Naughty boys!
Good for you and bad for us.
Yes, of course. Okay, but we'll get it on.
Next time we'll listen to you, teacher.
Better for you.
How are you feeling?
I'm freezing.
So am I. What a coincidence. What are you going to do in Ljubljana when you have free time?
I think I'll walk around and check some new things.
That's a good idea. I think I might do that too.
Hello everybody, I'm David Polak. We are located in Ljubljana. In front of us is Cankarjev Hall. If you're wondering where the name comes from, that's the name of our famous writer Ivan Cankar. In this hall every year are many different concerts and exhibitions. The building was designed by architect Ivan Ravnikar in year 1976, and it was built between the years 1918 and 1981. It's always a good place to go inside and warm up, like they do our friends inside.
At the moment we are at the National Theatre, where most of the shows take place.
Here we are reporting live from Prešeren Square about the famous Slovene poet France Prešeren. So, who the hell was France Prešeren?
He was a drunkard. I just kidding. He was the best. He was the best Slovenian poet because of the romantic stanzas, writing styles, gazelles, liberal ideas, and the last but not the least, his Raulica was later chosen for the national anthem.
Oh, thank you. So, is it true that he was drunk all of the time?
The teacher said that we shouldn't answer these questions, but I think that alcohol was for his inspiration.
So, what's your opinion about Prešeren? Was he really that important?
No, I think that teacher overreacted in school about how important was Prešeren for Slovenia. He was a good poet, but people nowadays don't respect the poetry like in the past. But of course his poetry has some outstanding qualities. For example, his specific standa and style of writing the problems he focused on in difficult political situations for Slovene nation in those times.
Who we can compare Prešeren's poetic style to?
It can be compared to Petrarca and Shakespeare. He was on the same stage or level as other world famous poets, so yes.
Okay. What do you know about his muse?
She became his unfulfilled love. She didn't react on his feelings, and that's what made Prešeren sad, desperate, and miserable, but gave him a good writing inspiration.
What are his poems dedicated to?
He devoted his poems to love, nation, and poets. The most exposed problem in history is that we weren't united as a complex nation, and that made him sad.
So is it possible to see or find any monument dedicated to your famous poet?
Yes, we can find a statue of Prešern in Ljubljana at Prešern Square. There is also his house in Vrba in the upper Cornelian village.
Do you know who was the creator of the statue?
The main idea came from architect Max Fabiani, but the creator is the academic artist Ivan Zayats.
I heard that there were some critics against the statue of Prešern. Can you tell more about that?
There were some critics against the statue and his views about the Prešern statue.
I know that your national anthem is Zdravljica, written by Prešern. What can you tell about some outstanding points of the poem?
Zdravljica is a drinking song. The poet declares his belief in a free thinking of Slovene and all other Slavic nations instead of political awareness. He focused on the idea of united Slovenia.
The seventh stanza of Zdravljica is the anthem of Slovenia. Who chose it?
Yes, it was adopted by a special committee before the breakup of the Yugoslavia in 1989.
Okay, thank you. Can you sing or tell the anthem by heart?
Yes.
Yes, of course.
3/4 die. God's blessing on all nations who long and work for that bright day, when earth is habitation, no war, no strife shall hold its way. Who long to see that all men free, no more shall foes but neighbors be. Who long to see that all men free, no more shall foes but neighbors be.
Very good, thank you.
Hello everybody, my name is Besin Sulic and I'm from School Center Velenje. Today we are here in Ljubljana and we're going to present one of the famous and important architects in history of Slovenia, Jožef Plečnik. Today we are here in front of the Franciscan monastery, one of the important buildings of Jožef Plečnik. First we're gonna tell something about Jožef Plečnik. I don't know anything about him, but my friend Nedeljko Lovrić does. So, Nedeljko, could you tell us something about him?
Yes, he was born in Ljubljana in 1972. His greatest works are Langer House, Zehler House, Triple Bridge, Franciscan Monastery, and many others.
I heard he studied in 4 different cities. Is it true?
Yes, he studied in Vienna, Belgrade, Prague and Ljubljana.
Oh, thanks a lot. Now we're going to present the Franciscan monastery, which was built in the
15th century. This is a very old building and it's very famous because of the library that lies within.
Yes, why is the library so famous?
The library has 70,000 books and old manuscripts, so that's very impressive.
Yes, and what about the church? A church is built in there.
What?
A church is built in there by Jožef Plečnik.
No, the chapel was built by the Jožef Plečnik, and that's the chapel is called the Chapel of the Holy Grail.
Oh, thanks a lot.
So I'm actually freezing here on the Slovenian one of the Slovenian most famous monuments, the Triple Bridge. So the history of Triple Bridge goes far in the past. So actually in 13th century there was an old wooden bridge, and it burned in the 15th century, and then there was the Italian architect built one bridge instead of it. That bridge was called Hospital Bridge. In 20th century, Slovenian architect Jožef Plečnik used this central bridge and expanded it by adding 2 pedestrian bridges on the side. The bridge was used for various transportation until the 2008 when this zone was turned in the pedestrian zone, and then only limited traffic could use these bridges.
Lang River in the southern part of Ljubljana basin in Slovenia. It rises to the south of the town Vršnica and outflows in the Sava River about 10 kilometers downstream from Ljubljana. Ljubljanica is the continuation of several karst rivers that flow from Prezidsko Polje till Vršnica on the surface and underground in caves, so the river is poetically said to have 7 names. Central market in Ljubljana is enormous. It fills the square Vodnikov Trg and spills out into the lanes and streets surrounding it. It's mostly for food and flowers, but not exclusively. If you want to see or buy the best of Slovene produce in season, this is the place. An interesting feature is the riverside arcade with colonnades built by a famous local architect Jože Plečnik.
Slovene cooking has over 30 regional dishes that are mostly influenced by our neighbor countries. From Austria we get klobasa, like it's a type of sausage. Bread and pastry items such as zavitek, strudels are also in Slovenian cooking. From Hungary is there mostly goulash or paprikash, something like meat, soup dish. And from Italy we get pastas. It's also known for its good choice of wines like Merlot, Cviček and Rusé or Merlot.
If you find yourself in the middle of the marketplace like myself, you might want to try some Slovene cuisine. Beside the river Ljubljanica you might find standing 4-star premium hotel Slon, that actually in rough English translates into elephant. They also have a nice lounge and restaurant. Of course we also have restaurants with Indian, Chinese and Mexican food. For those seeking a little bit of America, we also have fast food restaurants like McDonald's and also Turkish stances with delicious kebab. While you're in Ljubljana, you might also want to check a 100-year-old Stari Tischler. That is not just a restaurant but also a monument. It offers a place to stay for travelers and cooks traditional domestic food like it used to do in the past.
Where are you from?
Okay, I'm from Brazil. My name is Vinicius. Yeah.
I'm from Slovenia. I'm hosting them.
And I'm Christoph. I'm from Austria.
Oh, nice. What do you think about Ljubljana?
Yeah, we just arrived here, so we are staying in my friend's house, Matias, and we arrived this morning. We are now making a city tour, but it's a really good city. We are liking really beautiful, and now we are trying to know a little bit more about it.
Yeah, we just came from Switzerland, from Basel. We are all studying there from our Erasmus semester. Now we just came here to show them around a bit.
Yeah. And our friend is now hosting us, and he's just giving us some good impressions and sights from Ljubljana and of course from the whole Slovenia. And I hope we will have a great time here.
So you guys know each other from school, am I right?
Yeah, this last year we made an exchange semester in Basel, in Switzerland, and we got really connected and like best friends here in Europe. So yeah, now we are knowing about the culture and different things here. Really good for us.
Yeah, the same thing. Yeah, that's from.
Have you got anything to tell?
No, it's okay. They just said everything.
What else are you going to look here in Ljubljana?
Yeah, I think it's better.
We just walked around the city. We were at the train station, and we went to the Tromostovia. Now we are here. Maybe we saw the Park Zvezda, and maybe Tivoli. And after we are looking forward to go to other places like in Nova Gorica, Brda, and maybe Postonska Jama, Bled.
Well, I thank you guys for this interview. Have a nice day.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you too.
Here we are at the old castle in Ljubljana. If you look around, you can see this beautiful place, and soon you'll hear some more information about it.
Hello, here we are in Ljubljana Castle's courtyard. My name is Špela.
And my name is Katja. We are going to tell you about something about the castle, its history, its architecture, and also some interesting facts about it.
So, Katja, when was the Ljubljana castle first mentioned?
Well, it was first mentioned in a Latin document dating back to 1112. So, do you know when was the castle first settled?
According to archaeological surveys, the area of the present castle has been settled continuously since 1200 before Christ, when the first settlements and later fortifications were built. What about the architecture? The castle isn't the same as it was originally, isn't it?
In 1144, the Ljubljana castle was mentioned as a property of the Carinthian dukes of the House of Spanheim. In the 15th century, the castle was enlarged with a complete wall and towers at the entrance, where a drawbridge was placed. A chapel was also built at that time. In the 16th and 17th centuries, other objects were gradually built. Okay, now we know the castle was enlarged and lots of people were settled here. Could you tell us what happened next?
Well, because it was not a home of a ruler or another important noble person, and because fortification in the area was no longer required, the castle started to lose its importance. The maintenance costs were too high, so the castle began to fall apart. But the castle is still here, so it hasn't fallen apart totally. Did they use it for something else?
Yes, in the 19th century it was partially a prison and partially a military stronghold that made it less popular for the citizens. Several famous people were jailed in the castle, including the Slovene author Ivan Cankar.
There are some interesting facts about the castle, aren't they, Katja?
Of course! Did you know that in the 17th century castles started to serve as a military depot? People were afraid of fires and stuff like that.
Since 1990, people can get married on this castle. The couples can have church wedding or civil wedding.
There is also an open-air cinema at Ljubljana Castle courtyard. Here we are, under the stars within the Ljubljana Summer Festival. You can go on a tour of the most acclaimed films.
Also, at the night time, castle is lighted in colors of our national flag.
So, the castle is also a very popular meeting place for young people and romantic place for couples. Thanks for your attention. That would be all from us.
Yo! What's up? Where am I?
Dude, you're in the capital city of Ljubljana. It is also the largest city in Slovenia.
Can you tell me something about history of Ljubljana?
It's not surprising that settlements of pile dwellers and later Illyrians and Celts grew up in this region more than 5,000 years ago. Ljubljana is first mentioned in written sources from 1144. At the time of Roman hegemony, Ljubljana was also called Emona. Ljubljana is today the capital city of the independent state of Slovenia, the heart of the political, economic, cultural and scientific life in Slovenian nation.
What about main sites of Ljubljana?
Well, you can see a lot of sites. You can go to Ljubljanica river, you can walk, if it's a sunny day you can walk besides the river. You also have a lot of street cafes that you can go. There is also Hala Park Tivoli. You can go there if you like exercise, and you can also take a walk. You also have the Ljubljana Castle, which has the view, the whole city. You can go to the Ljubljana Castle by foot or cable car.
Do you know any well-known people that were important for Slovenia and Ljubljana in history?
Well, there is Primož Trubar. He gave the Slovenian nation the first book.
Also France Prešeren and Ivan Cankar, two important figures in Slovenian cultural and political freedom.
Can I ask you something about major events in Ljubljana? What can people do in Ljubljana?
Well, for young people, they can go on parties. They have Club Inbox. They also have Stožice. What else?
There was also David Guetta, who is famous DJ, was also in Ljubljana, not long time ago.
And what's the best thing for you two in Ljubljana?
Sign for Maribor.
Was designed.
Why my bitches? Or level as
We are here in Ljubljana. Today Admir is gonna tell us something.
So we are
1 kilometer.
Žgogalo, sam sradi ga.
Ne brez unga uvodnega dela.
Okay.